Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Ang episode natin para sa mga malapit na o applying for a post-graduation work permit. Kinakabahan ba kayo? Naku, parang ang balita daw kasi mukhang dumadami ang mga nare-refuse at inaasahang baka no by next year especially baka ang refusal rate for PGWP ay talagang tumaas. Bakit ba? Alamin din natin kung ano ang sitwasyon ngayon. Kasama ang ating suking immigration lawyer, Lou Jansen Dangzalan. Hi,
Hello,
Lou!
kumusta?
Okay. Okay naman. Naku po, lahat na lang. Refusal, refusal, refusal pa rin.
It's raining
Okay.
refusals, unfortunately.
Naku po. Ay naku. O teka muna, ang email po ni Attorney Lou is crawling there, down there. So shoot him an email if you want to book a consult. Sige, focus lang tayo guys sa PGWP Because I actually sent Lou this article, nakita ko online, and I just really wanted to know if it's true, baka nararamdaman ni Lou sa kanyang mga kliyente, totoo ba na, teka, nasa na yung article ko? Yan, okay, this one. According to Apply Board, Canadian PGWP approvals forecasted to drop by 30% in 2025. My question is, baka as early as now, nararamdaman mo na nandun na patungo yan na, Luna, talagang ang refusal rate for PGWPs, pataas ang pataas. Parami ng parami yung nare-refuse.
It's a natural consequence of the policy that started November of 2024. Una sa lahat, in-implement nila yung language requirements, di ba? So kapag nakagraduate ng post-secondary na 2-year or 1-year program, kailangan may certain level of CLB. For example, I believe it's 5. And if you finished bachelor's and above, it has to be 7 as a minimum. So unfortunately, merong mga cases talaga na may mga bad test takers talaga na hindi naman necessarily masama ang kanilang English or French, pero hindi talaga pumapalo yung score nila because they're just, having trouble with the test itself. Siguro sidebar dito, Ina, kung meron kayong difficulty in taking tests, you should reach out to the test provider. They are under law required to give you some accommodations, reasonable accommodations. Halimbawa, may diagnosed ADHD ka, it's actually subject to the law that they are supposed to give you some accommodations like extra time, for example,
Oh,
for the exam. Yeah, that's true.
okay. What other mga accommodations or situations ang pwedeng mabigyan ng special accommodations apart
Well,
from
if
your diagnosis? Yeah.
someone is hard of hearing, for example, syempre, 'di ba may oral component 'yun, 'di ba? Or someone is deaf mute, for example. Syempre ganun din. May accommodations din 'yan. Syempre kung may visual impairment ka rin, meron din yung accommodations. So, sometimes kasi may mga ibang impairments, especially those who are dealing with mental health trauma or ongoing conditions like ADHD nga na mention ko kanina, hindi siya visible, 'di ba? And a lot of di tayo sanay kasi sa Pilipinas na ito'y meron palang nagreresulta na accommodations, 'di ba? Pero sa Canada meron 'yan. Ang pruweba diyan, for example, when I was in law school, meron akong mga kaklase na may diagnosis ng ADHD and they're given extra 30 minutes to an hour for a 3-hour sit-down exam. Laking bagay nun,
Oo. Oy guys, pero siyempre kailangan na diagnosed kayo. So secure
diagnosed.
that from your
Mm,
doctors if ever man. Okay.
exactly.
But okay, dito sa English eligibility, do you think this is the only factor or the main factor contributing to the refusals, or is it a combination of, many things like yung cap, baka yung cap,
Mm,
or ano ba, baka hindi naka-comply sa mga work
mm,
hours lang dapat o ano na?
correct.
Ano bang nakikita mong usual reasons pa?
Naturally, pero wala naman kasing formal instructions from immigration to actually target na meron kayong quota, halimbawa na dapat ma-refuse. Pero ang meron tayo ay ang overarching theme na kailangan bumaba ang number of temporary residents from 7.4,
Mhm.
sabi nga ni Prime Minister Carney, 7.4% of the current population down to 5%. So that 2% parang ang baba, 'di ba? Pero actually in absolute numbers malaki-laki 'yan. So,
Mhm.
in other words, while hindi nila sinasabi na i-refuse ang PGWP. Meron silang tinatawag na social and political license to actually be more strict in the evaluation of applications. Bigyan kita ng isang halimbawa.
Mm.
Meron requirement ang IRCC to become eligible for PGWP. Not only should you meet the language requirements, pati syempre yung field of study requirements as of November 1st, di ba? Pati na rin dito kasama yung mga iba pang requirements like nag-study ka ba full-time? For example, nirespeto mo ba yun? 'Di ba? Kasi
Mhm.
you're only allowed to go on part-time during your final semester. Or if you're, let's say, meron kang accommodation. Again, halimbawa, meron kang learning disability, for example, na allowed ka na mag-take ng 2 courses lang instead of the normal 3 na considered na full load, 'di ba? So yung mga ganong situations, kailangan na-explain ng mabuti. Explanation letters are your best friend when it comes
Oo.
to WP applications. Kasi kapag na-refuse na, sometimes ang hirap i-unwind talaga. Meron nga
Oo.
kaming 2 cases ngayon na inaaway namin ng IRCC. Yung isang client ko, thankfully, yung kanyang common law partner is actually a Canadian. So, sabi ko, well, 2 option mo. Pwede mong awayan ng IRCC on the PGWP refusal, which we think is absolutely wrong. Nagkamali sila ng basa ng transcript.
Okay.
But, yeah, meron siyang common law partner. So, parang dun na lang para diretso ng PR sabi niya,
Oo.
nag-decide sila. Yung isa naman out of options, siyempre nilalabanan namin ngayon through, federal court. Pero
Wow.
klarong-klaro sa ebidensya, Ina, na hindi naman siya nag-part-time. Pero yun
Oo.
nga, hindi niya in-explain. Tapos eto pa, kumuha pa kami ng support letter later nung nag-request for reconsideration. Dinededma kami ng IRCC, 'di ba? So ngayon, nakikipag-pingpong ako sa Department of Justice.
Wow, okay. Now, do you think it's kunyari 'pag na-refuse ang PGWT for legitimate reasons, now,
Right.
is that the end of end of the journey for an international student? Ano ang sinasabi mo kunyari, naku talagang refuse ka talaga, eh, ano ang option ng isang international student?
Yun yung masakit, 'di ba? Kasi unless meron kang labor market impact assessment,
Yeah.
possibility to support your new work permit application or some way of getting an LMIA exemption, for example, significant benefits to Canada or reciprocity, medyo mahirap makakuha ng mga gano'n, by the way.
Hmm.
It might seem like it's the end of the line talaga, na actually in certain situations parang wala ka talagang choice kundi mag-hard reset. Funny
Naku.
enough actually, yung kapatid ko, she works as a chef, sa Toronto.
Mhm.
Yung isa sa mga staff niya, yung isa sa mga cooks niya, from Sri Lanka, gano'n nga
Mhm.
yung nangyari na hindi na-approve yung kanilang ano, extension, for spousal open work permit kasi hindi nga rin na-approve yung PGWP. So, nanganganib sila. Ang masama pumunta naman siya sa sister ko, kinausap yung sister ko 3 days before the expiry. So sabi ko sa sister ko, "Naku, mukhang wala na ata talaga 'tong options. Baka ang pinakamalinis na puwede nilang gawin is baka puwede silang umuwi, tapos mag-reset."
Yan na. Oo nga,
Reset the board kumbaga.
can you tell us more about itong sinasabi mong hard reset?
Mm.
Yeah, naka-gain ka na ng experience kahit papaano dito sa Canada, siguro
Yes.
part-time work as a student. How can you
Yeah.
use that to your advantage if you
Well
mapilitan kang umuwi?
Mhm. Well, halimbawa, in a situation na meron kang asawa, halimbawa, ikaw, Ina, nag-aral ka, 'di ba, ta's hindi ka eligible for PGWP, but your husband was an SOWP holder. Tapos it turns out na hindi ka pala eligible for PGWP for correct reasons, sabi mo nga kanina. So, pumunta ka sa akin, sasabihin ko, "Oh, mukhang wala talagang options for LMIA. Baka ang best option niyo at this point, since may na-bank naman na Canadian work experience si husband, baka kailangan umuwi." Tapos from the Philippines, siya naman na mag-apply ng study permit kung gusto nila, puwede naman. Or
Oo.
unless i-maintain din yung, experience from inside Canada, 'di ba? Kasi within 3 years kasi valid yung Canadian skilled work experience for the purposes of Canadian experience class.
Yeah.
Yun yung kagandahan ng CEC. So may window period pa naman na puwede pang habulin. Yun nga lang, dehado ka kasi anong tawag dito, wala kang yung si husband mo nga, walang Canadian education, 'di ba? So, nasa
Yeah.
side mo. So, ang puwedeng mangyari niyan is after 1 year nakabalik kayo sa Philippines, may konti namang ipon, balik ulit ng Canada. Siya naman or baka puwedeng siya lang kung gusto niya talaga, 'di ba? Tapos kung kaya kakalkulahin niyo muna dapat yung score ninyo. Huwag kayong papasok diyan ng blind, 'di ba?
Oo.
May science po 'to, puwedeng kalkulahin yung score, tapos na-determine natin halimbawa, may 2.5 years of skilled work experience pala si husband. So kung umuwi kayo tapos mag-lodge siya ng application for study permit for the next school year sa Canada, abot pa. Kasi 1 year master's kunwari, abot pa na makukuha niya yung Canadian skilled work experience, pati yung Canadian master's education, na yung points niya abot ng 525. Eh di
Oo.
competitive siya, di ba? Tapos kung yung
Yun.
minasters pa niya, 'di ba, high demand occupation, eh, di puwede. Depende talaga 'yun sa factors mo rin, at the same time. So,
Oo.
may mga options pero hindi siya cut and dry, yung one size fits all, unfortunately.
Yeah, oo. Okay, and, I guess yun na rin yung sagot mo, Lu, 'no, sa mga magsasabing kunyari na-deny na yung PGWP. Grabe, I wasted so much money
Mm,
being a student
mhm.
here in Canada, 'di
Yeah.
ba? Siyempre I would understand.
Bakit?
Ang feeling nila, ang laki ng ginastos ko, tuition fee ko, renta ko, para sa wala. So,
Mm,
yeah, hindi naman siya guys wala, no? I mean, you earned your experience and as what at yung in-explain ni Lu kanina, pwede niyo magamit yun for a future
mhm,
application by, I guess,
mhm.
re-strategizing nga, no?
Correct.
Oo. Do you advise some, ito alam ko kasi, no, ginagawa nila wala na silang hope mag-visitor record. Do you give that advice, commonly sa mga clients mo?
Depende. Again, like yun nga, wala kasing generally speaking, hindi siya magandang idea because if you're already holding a visitor record, hindi ka na puwede mag-convert back into a work permit, 'di ba? Kasi wala na ngang flag polling. Tapos,
Okey.
on top of it, hindi ka naman puwede mag-convert from visitor to worker from inside Canada. Talagang uuwi ka talaga, which is, you know,
Hmm.
difficult in a lot of ways kasi yung gatekeeping nga na tinatawag natin, madalas nangyayari ito sa embassy, 'di ba? Titignan nila
Mhm.
malakas ba yung probability na hindi siya uuwi ng Pilipinas, halimbawa. Malakas, so ire-refuse out of, an abundance of caution, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So, advisable ba siya? Depende. Kasi halimbawa may mga situations naman na baka halimbawa, balikan natin yung situation ni
Mhm.
hypothetical student Ina tsaka si husband na nakaipon ng experience. O, sabihin natin na right now pumapalo yung score ni husband sa 480s, 'di ba, sa express entry. Tapos may ipon naman kasi 2 taon din kayo sa Canada, nakapagtabi ng 10,000. Baka Ina puwede kang umuwi kasi na-refuse yung PGWP, pati yung anak kunwari. Pero si husband, puwedeng maiwan sa Canada. Kuha siya ng
Oh.
visitor record. Anong gagawin niya? Hindi siya puwede magtrabaho. Abay,
Mm.
dalawang bagay. Una sa lahat, puwede siyang mag-aral ng short courses in Canada. Ano yung puwede niyang i-take? Puwede siyang mag-take ng French courses. Lipat siya sa province of Quebec. Mag-French immersion siya. 'Di ba, habulin niya para makakuha siya ng sufficient proficiency in French so that mag-boost pa yung kanyang express entry points na baka umabot siya ng 490s, 500, 510, kasi up to 50 points ang possible, sa
Mhm.
bilingualism. Tas dahil diyan kung makaabot siya ng CLB 7 sa yung kanyang French, ay pupuwede siyang mag-qualify under the Francophone draws. So,
Okey.
sumutotal nito puwede pa, 'di ba? So, depende
Yeah.
talaga, may mga configuration na gano'n.
Yeah. Of course, that would also entail dapat may ipon-ipon kayo to sustain yourselves
'Yun,
while you are studying French.
correct. May
Okay,
second
eto
aspect nun, Ina, yung
ay go ahead.
visitor. So, bukod sa pag-aral ng French, kasi ang work kasi defined under the regulations in Canada. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng work? Kasi to work in Canada, you must either be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident or someone who enjoys status under the Indian Act. Hindi po yung
Okay.
bansang India, kundi po yung mga First Nations tsaka
Mm.
Métis in Canada. Uh, at yung mga naghahawak nga ng work permit or unless exempt yung mga foreign nationals from a work permit, 'di ba? May mga
Oo.
circumstances kasi. So, ano ba yung mga circumstances na exempt ka from a work permit? Well, kung flight attendant ka, 'di ba, halimbawa. Pero hindi yun yung
Okay.
punto ko. Yung punto ko, ano ba yung work? Ang definition according to the regulations is it is an activity that takes away an opportunity from a Canadian citizen and from a permanent resident and from participating in the Canadian labor market. So, ibig sabihin, kung yung trabaho mo sa loob ng Canada ay hindi nagkokompetensya sa mga Canadians na naghahanap ng trabaho, hindi ka nagwo-work in Canada. Bigyan kita ng example,
Remote
virtual
work.
assistant ka.
Oh, yan.
Exactly. Yun, remote work.
Oo.
Kasi yung kliyente mo nasa UK, for example, sa London, di ba? Personal assistant ka na virtual. Sumisweldo ka, kahit pumapasok pa sa Canadian bank account mo, it doesn't matter. Kasi yung punto dyan, hindi
Interesting.
ka nagko-compete with Canadians in the Canadian labor market. So, ibig
Oh.
sabihin, remote worker ka. Yun. That doesn't count as work. Pwede ka magstay in Canada on a visitor record.
Wow, that's interesting. Kapag gano'n, kailangan mo ba i-declare yun sa IRCC, let's say, whatever, mag-file ka ng future application, did you work
Yes.
in Canada?
Yes.
Anong sagot mo dun?
Ang sagot mo doon, you're working but remotely. Maglalagay, again, explanation
Oh,
letters are your best friend in this particular
alright.
case. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng hindi mo i-disclose yung aktibidades mo, di ba?
Oo, kasi
Kasi,
sabihin, ba't may
syempre,
pera kang pumapasok? Oo, 'di ba?
exactly. Kasi may presumption sila, di ba, na
Oo.
nagtatrabaho yan. Irrebuttable presumption yan. Nagtatrabaho ako, pero hindi sa Canada. Remote
Oo.
work. Sasabihin nila, okay. Ano yan, technically, halugugin ninyo yung IRCC website. Meron silang tinatawag ng digital nomad visa. Natatawa ako kasi wala naman talagang digital nomad visa sa Canada. Ito ay just
Oo.
visitor visa or business visa. Pasok ka lang ng Canada, tapos mag-remote work ka. Ganun lang. Everything else is
Aba.
a conversation with the CRA.
Oo. Ayun na nga, actually tatanungin ko, paano yung taxes mo? Talagang napunta na tayo dito sa visa na 'to, 'no? But last na lang on this topic.
Sure.
Paano ka magfa-file ng taxes or do you file your taxes here? Paano ba yun? Or double paano ba?
That's a good question. Ang swerte natin na ako nag-tax law ako nung nasa law school ako.
Okay.
Um, Taxation in Canada is determined by residency. Kung ikaw ay residente sa Canada, pisikal na residente sa Canada for 183 plus 1 days in Canada,
Mhm.
that's called the Thompson Rule. Ibig sabihin nito ay ikay Canadian tax resident. So, ibig sabihin,
Oh.
lahat ng global income mo, ibig sabihin, kung nagko-kolekta ka ng rent sa 10 apartment ni Ina
Mm.
Andolong sa Philippines,
Mm.
that should be declared income in Canada, for
Yeah.
example.
Alright.
Lahat ng income mo, gano'n.
Okay.
Tapos, isa pa, paano kung may withholding ka sa bansa na 'yon, 'di ba? So,
Oh.
binayaran na yung tax,
Oo,
halimbawa, kung
meron na
sumisweldo
dun.
ka, halimbawa, 'di ba kunwari na-retain ka sa isang company sa Philippines, sa sumisweldo ka do'n, tapos kinakaltasan ka do'n. Don't panic, hindi ka mado-double tax. Canada and the Philippines has a tax treaty or tax
Alright.
agreement na yung taxes mo na winithhold sa Philippines, kinakaltas na do'n, they will turn into tax credits in Canada. So, hindi ka
Oh.
nado-double tax. Gano'n lang
Alright.
'yun.
Okay. O sige, balik na tayo sa
Sige,
PGWP.
sorry.
Last question na lang dito sa PGWP. Now, I don't
Sure.
want to worry those who are, scheduled to apply, transition
Mhm.
sana into a PGWP,
Right.
well, this year and next year. Pero sabi kasi sa akin ni Lou, before we started recording, mukhang talagang the situation is about to get worse when it comes to PGWP refusals. Ano ang
Mhm.
forecast mo? Uulan ba talaga lalo ng refusals for
Hmm.
PGWP next year?
Lagyan natin ng konteksto. Siguro hindi
Okay.
PGWP refusals, but rather yung pinag-usapan natin kanina was yung PGWPs that are about to go boom, expired, 'di ba?
Okay.
Oo. Pero kung PGWP refusal, I think the delta is about going to be about the same, I would say. Yung question kasi is like, saan ba nag-peak yung pasok ng mga estudyante sa Canada?
Yeah.
Nag-peak sila 2020 and 2021. Kasi pagdating ng 2022, medyo sa sputter na yung Canadian economy. So, hindi na ganun kami yung pumapasok. Tapos noong 2023, ramdam na. So, hindi na nga rin ganun kalaki yung pasok ng mga tao. So, yung titignan mo yung PGWP that went active from 2021, from 126,000, 2022, 124, 2023, 243. So, ang laki ng ginump.
Mm.
Pero 2024, as of October of 2024, 174. Kung kahit na i-add natin yung balanse ng year of 2024, it should sasampa siya ng mga 200. So, yung logical conclusion dito is 2025, sino ba yung mga nakagraduate ng 2-year program? Yung mga pumasok ng 2023. So, it's going to be normal na bababa yung numbers ulit for PGWP effectivity. Plus, ngayon nga, nag-kick in na yung requirement for language, di ba? So, hindi naman lahat, unfortunately, magka-qualify dyan. At mas mabusisi ang pagsusuri ng IRCC officer sa mga PGWP applications. So it wouldn't surprise me na next year mas mataas yung refusals. Pero yun nga, yung second topic doon na broach mo is yung ano ba mangyayari sa 2026? Actually, titignan mo yung peak ng number of PGWPs na nag-come in live 2023. So let's assume na karamihan sa kanila 3-year PGWP. So 2024, 2025, 2026. So ibig sabihin kung 3-year PGWPs yung mga yan, madaming mga PGWPs na mag-expire in 2026.
Oo. And
So
what you're
ang
saying
tanong
is,
dito,
because of the caps perhaps sa mga ibang PNPs naman, syempre doon na sila mag-move on eh.
Mhm.
Baka marami sa kanila kumbaga ang malagas sa pool dahil
Exactly.
of the limited slots of all the
Correct.
different PR pathways. Is that what you're saying?
That's precisely it. Yun nga,
Yeah.
napaka-timely nga nung episode ninyo ni Dayanara nung isang araw
Mhm.
na wala na bang options, so magru-rural na ba ako? Yun nga,
Oo.
actually ang ganda nung episode ninyo pinakinggan ko kasi may mga tao talaga na actually mas maganda nga pero ang masamang balita yung mga latest consultation ko ng mga nasa community na participating, sila rin mismo nahihirapan na. Kasi for
Oh
example, bigyan kita example, yung Thunder Bay, ni-restrict na nila. Apparently, kasi each community designs its own RCIP, di ba? So, ang ginawa nila, yung allocation nila, 15% cap for service and sales. Ang daming mga nasa
per
service and
employer.
sales.
Parang ganon? Per employer?
Not necessarily. Yung total number. So, halimbawa may allocation sila na 1,000. So, 15% of that, that's about 10, sabi mo 1,000, diba? So, 150. Yung 150 lang ang sales and services. Paano
Oh
na yung iba?
no.
'Di ba? So, yun
Oo.
nga. So, puntahan niyo yung Thunder Bay website, makikita ninyo yung RCIP nila. May mga caps sila, tapos may mga priorities sila. Yun yung
Look
ganda
into
ng
it.
RCIP. Ganda siya,
Oh.
pero double-edged sword. Kasi ibig sabihin, paano kung yung community mo biglang mag-implement ng bulaga? Ito yung
Oo.
bagong policy, 'di ba? Di mo rin naman sila masisisi kasi sensitive
Biglang
sila sa needs
dumami.
ng community.
Oo,
Oo, yun
no.
na nga. So, yun ang nakikita natin. Ganun na nga, di ba? Pati sa New Brunswick, kitang-kita rin. Yung Atlantic Immigration Program, hindi ko alam kung aware ka, as of April of this year, nag-pause sila ng acceptance ng applications
Okay,
for
sige. I will do
endorsement.
an episode on that. Buti, na-raise mo yung concern na yan sa akin.
Mhm.
But anyway, okay guys. So, yun na po ang ating episode for PGWPs. Wala guys, talagang itong nangyayari. So, i-consider nyo na lang yung mga nasabi ni Luna inyo yung options. But again, that's case-to-case basis, no? This is only for information purposes. Consult
Correct.
with a professional, authorized immigration consultant or lawyer for your specific case.
Right.
Okay,
Two
so,
friends here as a final point is yun nga, explanation letters kung mag-a-apply na kayo ng PGWP. And number 2, time. Prepare ahead, whether it's for PGWP or for PR.
yan. Okay. Well, thank you as always, Lou. Nako. We'll end this episode here, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!